The Nike Pegasus is one of the most famous daily trainers, period. And it enters in a new decade of shoes with the Pegasus 40. How good is it and how does it compare to the 39? Let's find out. Hey everyone and welcome back on the channel. My name is Alex. In today's video we have a very important review because this is a Pegasus review, and the Pegasus, like it or not, is one of the most famous daily trainers. Probably one of the shoes people know the most about, with the Nimbus, maybe with the Ultra Boost, but this is definitely a shoe that many runners and fitness enthusiasts have owned or are considering, and this is why this review is really important, makes sense, and I will try to be as comprehensive as possible. But I will not really review it. I will mostly compare it against the 39, and this is because many things are similar between the two. So I will give you the similarities and the differences so that you can make the best purchase decision between these two. Quick disclaimer before beginning this video: this shoe was sent to us by Top4Running, and you can find it online on Top4Running with code META. It gives you a small discount on the shoe, and it helps the channel. So thank you for using the code and going via Top4Running in the EU. All right, let's go first into what's similar, what's the same between these two shoes, and let's do it differently than usual. Let's start with the outsole. You have the exact same outsole despite some color differences. It is some Duralon rubber and some BRS 1000 rubber, if I'm not mistaken, on these two shoes. Same grip performance, not necessarily the grippiest shoe in my opinion, but it's okay. I actually ran on some dirt, on some gravel with the 40 recently on the Strade Bianche in Tuscany. Very nice region to run in. It did a good job. Where it struggled was, more the heels than the grip on that surface and in that area. Looking at the midsole, we also have the exact same compound Nike React, the exact same zoom pods, air zoom pods in the forefoot, so 2 pods of air right here and right here in this shoe, in these two shoes. And we also have the same drop, 10 millimeters with a 33 millimeters in the heel and a 23 millimeters in the forefoot, 10 millimeters drop on these two shoes. Something also that is similar between these two shoes with the midsole is the geometry. You have the exact same very slight heel bevel right here on the two shoes, and also that very milled toe spring and rocker, almost non-existent or very little of it on the two shoes. Same geometry, so outsole, midsole geometry is exactly the same on these two shoes. Another area where the two shoes are exactly similar is the insole or insert, depending on how you call it. You have the exact same one, despite some color differences on the two shoes. No difference here either. All right, let's move to the differences and let's check one of the biggest ones. 284 grams in my size US 11, roughly 10 ounces. 309 in my size US 11 for the Pegasus 40. 25 more grams, so shy of an ounce more on the Pegasus 40. It's a heavier shoe. That's mostly coming from the upper changes. I will run you through those changes here in a second, but definitely a heavier shoe on the Pegasus 40, slightly lighter on the 39. If that's something that matters to you, consider the 39. The price point, and correct me if I'm wrong, but the Pegasus 40 I'm sure is $130, 130 euros. The Pegasus 39, I struggle to remember the original price point, non-discounted. I think it was 120 euros, $120. So this increases by 10 units, dollars, euros, if I'm not mistaken, which is also a difference. And in that ballpark, 120, 130, 10 units, 10 euros, $10 is quite a significant difference in terms of percentage of increase. The main changes on these two shoes are on the upper. And I know what you think, Pegasus 40 should be a celebration of the Pegasus. Why did they change only the upper? I think Nike essentially is entering in a 2-year cycle for all of their products, and they will be updating them, in a major way every 2 years. They already started doing that by number increments, by version increments, updating the main version every 2 numbers. And now this will even change, meaning that the Pegasus 41 may only come to live in 2 years, allowing for the products to have a bit more lifespan. And also, they release so many colorways, they probably want to make them stand out a bit more and not rush the next product to release, which I think makes sense also from a durability and environmental perspective. As you can see, the mesh is completely different on these two versions. Here you have on the Pegasus 39 engineered mono mesh. a bit plasticky to the feel of it. I must admit that I quite like the upper on this version, on the 39. It was offering you a good fit. The tongue was padded, but not too much. And one thing that was really good on this version was those fly wires connecting the laces together, or acting as eyelet chain here. Also, and most importantly, not just acting as an eyelet chain, offering you a very good midfoot wrap, midfoot lockdown in this shoe. And this was a great addition compared to 38. Unfortunately, they removed it here on this version, coming to something a bit more traditional with those, let's say, horizontally laid eyelet chain. I don't know if it makes sense, but you see what I mean here with the with this thing. And I must admit that this is probably going one step back. When you have that technology here, those fly wires working really well, I don't know why you would do that. But yeah, so this is a difference. And then looking at the material, as you can see, here we have more of a jacquard type of mesh. I'm not sure, to be honest, if this is the way they call it, but this is how I see it. So yeah, it's also something a bit different here. And I have a preference for this upper, but I do have a preference for this fit. The Pegasus 39 had rather a snug, condensed type of fit. Whereas here on the 40, you have something slightly more roomy, especially in the forefoot. And I quite prefer the fit of the 40, despite preferring the upper material of the 39, and especially the lacing system of the 39 for sure. One interesting feature and also a difference with the flywire system is that Nike also implemented something here to give you a bit more midfoot lockdown, and that is a yellow grid coming underneath the upper here on the lateral and medial side. As you can see, probably like this. I don't know if it's clear enough and if you can see it, but you have something that acts as the fly wires, but is a full piece of material with some holes in it, and that also stretches a bit the midfoot and gives you a better lockdown here. But again, I do prefer the fly wire. That doesn't change my assessment. Another difference would be here at the top of the tongue, you have that tab here in which the laces go through. I don't really mind. It's nice. It's it has a nice Nike logo, a small emoji here. But I was okay with this tongue. The tongues are quite similar, and only the upper material of the tongue changes, but the feeling of it, the padding of the tongue, is similar across the two shoes. This is it, guys. I hope you enjoyed this comparison between the Pegasus 39 and the Pegasus 40. I hope it makes sense. If you have any questions, go in the comments, ask me anything. I will try to address those questions as soon as I can. Thanks a lot for watching. Enjoy your run today, enjoy your ride, and go beyond your limits. I'll put somewhere on the screen the review of the 39 so that you can also have this in mind. See you in the next one.